Just a bit further into the grove and we'll reach our destination.
You sure you're gonna make it even 2 steps? You look terrible.
I can't afford to stop right now. Once I get both of you to her, I'll be able to chill out.
Dorian, are you gonna die? Please don't die on us. Dorian, you can't possibly die on us now.
I'm not going to die.
Really? Sure seems like you're knocking on death's door.
Maybe we should actually walk a few more steps so we can actually get to our destination.
Wait, I know her. I met her in the woods a long time ago. You know Dame
Dorian, you're injured. How did this happen?
I'll explain everything once we're...
Dorian!
You two, help me bring him in. Quickly!
Man, that was... Oh, Dame Shaw. Thank you both for helping me bring him upstairs. Seeing him in that state is frustrating. I'm afraid of what could have happened to him should he have come later than he did. Dame Shaw clenches her fist. She takes a deep breath and exhales before looking at the both of you. You notice a mix of anger and sadness in her eyes. They look glossy with the tears that are now forming. Sorry, I'm really frustrated right now. Give me a moment. It's okay, you don't have to apologize for feeling emotional. This whole situation has been stressful. Thank you for being so understanding. Now, please, tell me how this happened. How did he get into this condition? Dame Shaw looks at you with an emotional gaze. I don't really know too much of it. I was just there for the escape, but this guy over here was there way longer than I was. Is that so? She moves her gaze from you to the stranger you found in the cells. He stops looking around at the house interior and meets your gaze. Could you tell me what happened? Where you were, and more importantly, who did this to him? He thinks for a moment. You assume to gather his thoughts before he leans onto the table, placing an arm on his hip as he rests his other on the table surface. For starters, we were in some sort of prison or containment area with plenty of cells. I think the town's name was Maharya or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's called Maharya. He waves you off. Whatever it was called. As I was kept there, some old-looking dude kept talking about how I would make a worthy pawn for his lady, or whatever the fuck he said. Time seemed to move slowly down there. The only way I could tell that days were passing was the daily visits from that guy. He'd pop in with a speech and stare at me intently. What that intent was, I can only assume to intimidate me? I'm not sure, but my head hurt like crazy. It only stopped when he was tired and walked away. There was another guy. He would throw a potion at me every 2 or 3 visits from the old man. It sucked. I felt weak and the potion contents would stick to my skin. That's not even mentioning the glass shards. Ugh. His nose scrunches in disgust. I'm sorry about the treatment you received. That must have been horrible. The old man, would you be able to describe him for me? White hair, burgundy, reddish eyes. He had a beard as well. Why do you ask? Do you know the man? He squints his eyes at Dame Shaw, moving the hand that was on his hip onto the table as well. Dame Shaw looks around, possibly thinking over the information she'd been given. No, at least the man doesn't sound familiar. In any case, it sounds as though he had been trying to use the potions to weaken you, and possibly your will? From what you've told me, it seems as though he had been trying to control your mind. She pauses, almost as if realizing something. Wait, so all three of you have experienced this? Dame Shaw looks worried. All I know is that I wasn't in there for long. They kept me in another cell in a different room. I don't think I was potioned or anything, but I can't say for sure. I can't say the same for Dorian, though. You'd have to ask him when he wakes up. I saw them carry her in. She was fast asleep, and before I knew it, they were rushing out of the cells. I believe something must have happened within the town for them to be out in such a hurry. How fortunate. However you managed to escape doesn't concern me, but I must ask one more about the magic used. How long have you been kept in the cell, Mr.? My name's not important. All that matters to me right now is that Dorian said you could help us get rid of this bad magic that's poisoning me. I'll be able to help you more efficiently if I had something to refer to you with. You don't need to give me your actual name if you don't want to. A nickname or alias will suffice. The fire dude stares at her before taking a breath. He looks to the side and responds in a lower tone. Flame. My name is Flame. Really? Is there a problem with my name? No, not at all. It's just a little cliche, don't you think? Well, that's what I go by. If you have an issue with it, then don't refer to me at all. Ugh. All right, children, settle down. Let's get back to the topic at hand. Flame, you were in there for a while, right? It's hard to tell how long I'd been there exactly. It was really easy to lose track of the time when there was no sunlight to count the days passing by. All I know is that I'd been there longer than Dorian had. And how do you feel? Stuffy. My head starts pounding every so often, but other than that, I've been physically okay. Wait, really? But you said you were in there longer than Dorian had. I thought they didn't provide food for you guys. They didn't. Elves can last a long time without needing to eat or drink, so long as they can rest or meditate. Since I'm an elemental elf, I was able to meditate most of the time I was there. Of course, I had been awoken to listen to that old dude's tangents. An elf elemental? They say that elves are rare to encounter out in the wild. They tend to keep to themselves in their isolated civilizations. What brings you all the way out here? Dame Shaw furrows her brow as she questions Flame. That is unimportant. Though I could ask you the same. Flame motions to both of their pointed ears. Dame Shaw stands still as she closes her eyes. That is unimportant. That explains why you aren't in a bad shape, but what exactly was the magic being used? I mean, I doubt they were just throwing potions at you guys, right? There has to be something else to it. Flame turns to look at you. He thinks a second before speaking. From the way that man was speaking, I'd go with a charm or enchantment. another way to ensure we'd be susceptible to be coming upon. Agreed. Lucky for me, elves are immune to charms and enchantments, so whatever he was trying didn't work. However, I still feel some residual magic. It's probably from the potions that were used. That's the part I need removed. Well, I'll be able to see what I can do. It might take me a bit to figure out a cure, so in the meantime, you two are free to stay here for as long as needed. And Jacky, it would make sense to make sure you weren't affected in that brief moment you were captured. I would like to check up on you as well. Thank you. I appreciate it. How long will it take? I don't exactly plan on staying in one place for too long. I would like to get this cleared as soon as I can. I'm not sure. Please, I beg of your patience in order to get rid of the ailment. I promise you, I'll do my best not to waste any time on the treatment. I just need to make sure I have the resources necessary in order to ensure a proper treatment, as well as the information needed to target the specific magic used. All I need is your faith and patience. Flame takes a deep breath before nodding. There should be some extra bedding at the top floor. Feel free to make yourself comfortable up there. I never anticipated any visitors or guests at all, so that is all I can offer you both. All right.
Thank you. I won't take your kindness for granted.
So, will you really be able to help Dorian and Flame?
Of course. I've studied magic for many years, so I'm confident I'll be able to help. I just need to remember where I left that book on cleansing.
Dame Shaw, if it isn't too much to ask, would I be able to send a letter? The only reason I was able to find Dorian when I did was because I was told he had been missing by another guard. The head guard of our village has been uneasy and really stressed out due to his absence, so I'd like to put his mind at ease.
And how will you be delivering the letter?
I hadn't thought about that.
Very well. You can just give the letter to my familiar, and she'll deliver it to your guard friend. Just don't mention where we are. I would like to remain as hidden as I possibly can.
Sure, I'll just leave that out then. So, where is your familiar? Aw, hi little kitty. Are you the familiar?
Meow.
Wow, did you put that there? Alright, let's see. Where to start? Dear Malik.